Hello, Marina.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice. Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me in the Split in Croatia.
Thank you for coming in our country and in the city.
Yes.
Also.
You will talk about your organization, your support worker organization based here. And we will also have a talk about your work as a peer support worker. I'm a peer support worker too.
I wonder what means aidante. It's like help or aid?
To help. Helping.
Yeah, help.
Peer, helping peer.
Nice. Yeah. Unusual words. Okay.
Yeah.
So a colleague.
We're colleagues.
Yes.
And I thought maybe we could discuss together about your work and organization going to the website of Feniks. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
So my name is Marina Vidović, and I'm from city Split, Mediterranean coast in Croatia, Europe. And I'm founder and president of local little non-government organization, which is named Feniks Association Feniks Split. I myself, a person who dreamed of becoming a psychotherapist once in a lifetime, and I was studying something in Croatia on that path, and then I got sick myself. So for quite a time, I thought that any ambition of that sort, or like my path will be completely different, that I'm just a sick person now. I was diagnosed 15 years, I think, ago, being bipolar, with bipolar disorder. And I spent this last 15 years trying to find best way of living full quality life with that. And I had different stages in my life when this felt like almost impossible mission, and I was hospitalized for 4 times, and I worked in between and taking care of my now teenage son and being in a marriage and divorced and many different like regular phases of a life, but all together combined with bipolar symptoms of being manic and being very seriously depressed, being suicidal, and all of that goes with that illness. On this path, something that kept like me hopeful is finding people with similar experiences. These people became like almost the comrades on this path of finding the best way of still living full life and dealing with some symptoms of illness. And I was lucky enough to find 7 similar people who had also ambition and empathy and will to start something new in my region, because there was anything similar here. There wasn't peer support workers, and still in Croatia is new field developing. And we started 8 years ago peer support groups, and we started it as like friends coming together and finding a place where we can talk, which is not a cafe or bar, because we started doing that first and it was awkward and it wasn't like the best circumstances to talk about your traumas and about your sad stories and problems you have. So we started like non-registered, just 5 people meeting every week and talking about their experiences, like sharing similar problems, dreams, hopes. And with time, there was like so many people interested in that. And we decided to found a local NGO, which is now registered, and to write projects. And in the now, I am first time, I was volunteer for 8 years, and since last year I've been, how to say, I'm finally paid for this role, what I'm doing. And it's in Feniks, I'm like coordinator of the project, which is called Roll Up Your Sleeves for Mental Health. And I'm happy to say that Ministry of Health of Croatia is funding us. And we are doing such lots of really interesting things, but maybe I can go on our webpage and then say a little bit more about what we are doing here and why. So as it says here, friendship is a medicine. Of course, you won't be told that when you come to a doctor's office or in a pharmacy. But what I found out during these 8 years, that actually it is true. Because very often when you are together in a room with the people who are not scared of you, who share similar troubles and sadness and some similar stories, like that connection that creates between people, it's very healing. And it's sometimes the basic things that thing that keeps people going more than other, which we respect, professionals and professional help like psychiatrists, psychotherapists and stuff. But when you're feeling alone and secluded, and like when you're put in a bottom shelf of a family tree or in society, then any good pill or therapy, it's much of a help, really, because you're still just surviving. And no one is, when we are little, we are not dreaming of being, what is called in Croatia, like there is a word like when you are functioning. Who wants to be a functioning individual? We want to be happy. So that's actually very the thing that we are trying to accomplish, to be together as we are, and trying to build community when differences are appreciated and respected, and where connection is the most important thing. So our mission is, I might say, that we need to spread positive energy and create community where there are no socially excluded citizens, which nurtures activism, human relations, and shows care for those who need help. Of course, with emphasis on helping people with mental disabilities and their families. Just a second. It's still unusual for me to see it in English. So yeah, we want to create different projects and support programs that improve mental health quality of life for people with mental disabilities in Split City and our county. And we are doing that already for 8 years, but since 2020 we are registered as a formal initiative. Of course, all of our activities are free of charge for all people who come and ask for our help. And what's quite like unusual in this country, but I know that in the world there are still lots of similar organizations, that we are an organization which is founded by and led by people with mental health illnesses. So we didn't want it to create another NGO who helps poor people who are ill. We wanted actually to create what we realized is needed in society, what's still lacking. And I'm really proud of that 7 of us, we all have diagnosis, and I'm like, it's a bonus in our NGO. So if some psychologists want to become member of us, I'm like, what's that, the word? I made a discrimination to accept more willingly a person who has also some experiences like this. Usually in normal society, it's opposite. And very often you can't work if you have something written, some F. But here I think it's better, because I believe that person who has formal knowledge and also experiential one, it has wider image of what's happening with the person. So I appreciate that even more. Not just me, all of us that are working there. And during all these 8 years, we really done lots of job, and most of it was fun. And I usually do everything selfishly, because I tend to create activities which I'm interested in. So then I put all of my energy into it, and it's usually successful. And of course, I support other people what their skills, what their interest before being ill, because illness is just one part of a person, and very often we forget about that. We ourselves forget it, and it's the most serious part. And we try to encourage people to be as much involved as they want, and especially in areas that they are passionate about. So we have, for instance, board nights, which we organized in local cafes, with a big poster which is stated that it's for people with mental problems, and we want to do that because it's opposite of what you normally do, and we don't want to be hidden or anywhere, just like it's something that we're dealing with, and we are coming to play together some games like chess or whatever people are interested in. And it's created by a person who was interested in that, so she's the one who is volunteer and coming first and putting all the games on the tables and welcoming people. So that creates even more also purpose and part of community which is active, which is also very important, because being recovered is not just about losing the symptoms. I don't think that's actually not that important. It's about living fulfilling life and with whatever obstacles you have. So I think that's the same for all the people and for us too. So yeah, we also made some public actions, humanitarian ones, for some patients at psychiatric hospital, where we collected some hygienic items for them. And we also cleaned the beach, because we wanted also to put some positive impact in our society. We had also, usually when it's Suicide Awareness Month day, it's, I don't know the month on English, I think it's November, 10th of November, I'm not sure. So for 3 years already, we made public action where all of our members of our NGO, but also our volunteers, which are very often the same people and some outsiders also. So we go in the center of the city and we give people flowers, and it's usually a specific amount of flowers, because every year in Croatia there is, as everywhere in the world, there is a lot of people who died by suicide. So we want to give a flower for every person who did it in the last year. So that's our way to showing. And last year we were giving flowers for, I don't know the English word for it, but you can plant it. So we wanted like something in remembering in honor for someone who's not here anymore. And it's really emotional thing for all of us. And also it became quite visible in society, and people are already knowing what we are doing and why. And of course, together with flowers, we give our contact information and some support messages, because you never know to whom you're handing it to. And yeah, that's our way to like raising public awareness of that problem. And also we would like to include community into it, because for 2 years, we got all the flowers for free from local producers when we save for what it's meant to. So in that way, those families are also already included. And usually some students from high schools from last year, the 2 high schools also came to become volunteer for that day. So they were sharing also flowers around. So yeah, we try to do something similar. It's not, usually things what we are doing don't need much money. Of course, money is very helpful, but it's more about will and about being, I don't know how to say, aware of problems and issues. And I always prefer things which are done in community way, because I was raised that way. And I think that makes a real change, because if we just talk for one day, usually, you put that flower like this. Today is day of bipolar disorder awareness. I think it's important to talk also. But usually on that day, talk 5 same people who talk about it every day. and the rest of the people are not that much affected by it. But when you do something that connects with other people who are not, of course, they don't understand because they're lucky enough they never had that problems or someone close to them. But in nowadays, almost everyone did, or someone very close to them. So yeah, we like to do things like that, which are a little bit unexpected, but still very natural and like, yeah. And what I'm really proud of this year, we had one project. I already told the name of it is Roll Up Your Sleeves for Mental Health. And I like humor a lot. I think it's very important, especially for our mental health. And especially if you're a person diagnosed with mental health or diagnosis, because that takes humor away if you let them. And I think it's very important not to take yourself too seriously, or illness also. That doesn't mean don't take your medicine or treat yourself in the right way, but it also means that life still can be pretty and can be fun. And that's why this name, Roll Up Your Sleeves, because usually we are told, oh, you're depressed, you're just lazy, roll up your sleeves and do something, and then it will just go away. We all know it's not true. I wish it is, but it's not. But on the other hand, also, when you do something, when you're in a phase that you can do something, because sometimes you can't really do anything besides just lie down and cry. Sometimes you can't even cry. But when you are like in that phase that you can force yourself a little bit, at least that was what was helpful for me. For some people that doesn't work, but hopefully for someone it does. So I wanted like to create some, how it's in English, I think it's occupational therapy or work occupational workshops in which people can do something, because we have peer support groups, and it's amazing. It's the most important thing with which we started everything. But sometimes when you just talk and talk every week and you just return home in the same amazing surrounding, and it's like that your life, and that adds some extra value to your life, and you have new company of people, and you, in the best scenario, you change your own perspective and out of stigma, and you fell in love with someone. But if you don't have any purpose in everyday life, if you don't do anything that afterwards you just lay down in your bed and you're tired and everything, but you're like, okay, I made something or created something or helped someone or just put some mark on throwing the garbage out. It doesn't have to be something big. I don't think that people can be happy, even if he's not depressed in how to say, clinical way. It's still something that it's how we people are. We need to have some purpose in life. So I wanted to create through this project that opportunity to, of course, we have psychotherapy, we have peer support groups, we have board game nights, we have, not yet, but we are starting to have also some physical activity, to go together to the beach, to walk on the mountain, to make some exercises, because usually with both some diagnosis and also therapy for diagnosis, we got a lot of weight on and we don't move much. And even if we want to go to some sports activities, we are too slow because our metabolism is different and we just give up. So we wanted to create specific rhythm and activities that's respectful towards our specific needs and possibilities. But I wanted to create, I think in English it's carpentry. Yeah, I created in this project 22 work occupational workshops. 8 of them are carpentry workshops, 8 gardening workshops, and 8 artistic and painting sort of workshops. And I wanted to cover as much possible. I'm still missing art, therapy, music, and dance, but that's in another project, I hope. So in this specific project, we've been lucky enough that one of our partners didn't want it to continue. And then we ended up with another partner, which was even better in one elementary school. So we are almost at the end now of that part, but we together, so people with mental health diagnosis and their families and friends and some neighbors from the city and the children from the school and their teachers, we all together in their garden, which is part of another project, another NGO, permacultural NGO. We helped them to create even more beautiful garden there for like 10 weeks in the weekends. And we also, which I'm very proud of, we are created amazing seats made of wood, which are like pieces of art. And then you have gallery here, so you can, maybe I can show that. And these chairs are meant to be for children in that school, so that they can use it for their outdoor classroom in that garden. But also we wanted to create like cinema under the stars. So these chairs you can put on in the school and then bring them out and put the chairs out, which are very beautiful and colorful, as our diagnosis and as all people are. And so they can see a movie in the garden under the stars, which is made by our NGO and our people. So I think this is really nice way of being included in community, and we did it all together. So yeah, most of us, even our not leaders, but people who are leading these workshops from our colleagues from Permaculture Split, Dalmatia, actually, NGO. We are all amateurs. No one is really a carpenter, which is also amazing. And most of us first time used most of the carpentry stuff, like you'll see in the photos. So yeah, this was first time. This was quite an adventure for all of us. And this is like last part when we were all together painting the chairs, but we will have in autumn like matinee of first movie. So chair looks like this when it's not colored. But yeah, we did a lot of stuff. Lots of people came. Oh, you're curious now. So yeah, I like to be on. And this is also gardening workshop. We made amazing stuff there also. In school, we made even a hotel for bugs, which is 5-star hotel, all together. And yeah, they're like all.
People, they come with their babies.
Yes, with lots of children. My teenager who never leaves his PlayStation, he's using like saw and everything on the woods and created chairs. So it was like really, really empowering experience for all of us and connected one. And we planted some strawberries, and it's Mediterranean garden with some local herbs and flowers. And we have even some of these trees already have some fruits on it. So it's really, really amazing experience. So yeah, there are lots of like hundreds and hundreds of photos from each, for each of happening. And I think gallery is the best way to show something, because when I just talk, it becomes boring. So lots of gardening carpentry workshop. I didn't put all of them yet. Oh, this was amazing thing. Last year we made mental rest day or mental break day, because we decided that we need to take a break from lots of mental health stuff. And so we danced, we created like little concert in the woods. There was Tai Chi workshops. We have lunch on the grass, which one of our members, who is amazing chef, he created for us. We play there together. One of our also volunteers, she's psychologist also, and she's amazing singer. So this was very moving. A lot of people came in. It was in the middle of Corona, so we are just, well, made NGO, so we don't care. And we watched a movie. Maybe you can recognize it's about to open. No, this was Take These Broken Wings. In the forest, we created a little bit cinema. So this is something that we wanted also to create for children for this year. So this was a little happening for just one day, and now we created a whole year experience of it. Yeah, this is how it looks. Doesn't have to be fancy or anything. It's just in the forest from old pellets, which are recycled. So also ecology is involved. And Tai Chi, and everything was for free. And all the guys, even we have rock concerts in the middle of the forest, and they all did it all for free. So I'm really proud of that part also. They sing for us, and they said they will always sing for us for free. And yeah, with family cooking on the fire, sitting all together, like in old days. So yeah.
That was before the pandemic.
That was last year in May. It was, yeah.
Between two waves.
Yeah, we were like in the middle. And I will show also some pictures of this public action about suicide prevention or awareness. Just I need to find it. This was last year, but this first year, 2020, I think it's more pictures. So yeah, we are walking around the city and giving people and talking about why we are giving it to them. And every flower has our contact numbers and one little sentence which says like, you're important or something like that. And it has like simple, but it has a strong impact on people. People are like really, at first people think like we are selling something, so they're running away, or that we are politicians or some religious stuff. But when you are like persistent, then they just stay, and you see how it changes their faces, and they start to thinking, oh my God, this really happens. And in Croatia last year, it was 566 people. It's really a lot for a little country.
Yeah, it's like similar to what we have in the province of Quebec.
Yeah.
About twice.
Oh my God.
Twice
size, yeah, probably. And this year I think it's probably the bigger number, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm like, I want to believe that this may at least change. And it happened that we also met someone who lost someone because of suicide. So it's always very moving and people crying. And yeah, this is like a little note on it. So yeah, we are trying to. And of course, newspaper people come too. So this is like my power team. Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, I love all of them. Yes, I don't know if I told like what's important. I probably missed some things. I think the hope is the most important thing which gets lost in traditional treatment.